You know, I've been procrastinating this shit, but we finally did beat it. You know, on screen we see it. Oh my god, this one is just more annoying. Fighting Heath is more luck. It's more luck based than anything. I think that's the one thing I don't like. It's how it's more artificial difficulty with you need to get lucky. Like, it's not like it's hard. If all the buffs were there, like, you know, it's just all luck for the most part. But I'm going to explain to you how to beat it for the most part. There's not many teams that could beat it, sadly. There's not many units that you could replace. The only one you could replace is like maybe the main DPS for Jack if you have him like with skill page max duped. But if not, like, you know, there's not many ways. So I have the recording pulled up. It took me over an hour because this was just what I recorded for that part, but I know I have more, right? So let's go into the builds. First of all, we did use Raya. So Raya was our main DPS, and basically it was just making him crit. So here we have 32% crit rate, but then here we have another 15%, right? So up to 47. Then type advantage gives him another 10%, so 57. And then the Finro crit rate buff makes him up to like 57, 59, 79. So about 80% crit rate. This is what I decided to run on him, which worked very well because you are looking for the crits either way to win. So I ran these two and then these two because this one, the crit damage piece, two-piece, non-upgraded gives you the crit damage boost on ultimate, which is what you're trying to do big damage on. Then I gave accessories for crit damage, right? That's basically how it works. And penetration just because it's what I have for physical, and they work pretty well, right? Good damage increase. Now it's a bit wonky here. I did not need to give him this. Let me make sure I'm not. Let me make sure I can take it off without it being. The imprint can be removed. All right, so it's gonna be there. All right, perfect. Because one time, oh whoops, one time I removed it and it kind of destroyed the whole thing. So for this, I gave him the damage increase or crit damage increase, and also the 10% against bosses increase, right? So it's these two that you mainly want to have just to do extra damage. I put this, right? It does. This is more late game, obviously. And for this, I just put the ones that are going to help us. So 5% accuracy and penetration. These two will not be useful, but it's usually, sorry, these two are usually the ones that you have on, but they don't do extra damage. Extra accuracy and penetration is always good, right? The speed does not do anything. I put it on, but it really doesn't do anything. Now for skill pages, for different ones you could run, you could put on, I'd say this one, because it gives increased damage against bosses. You could maybe put this one, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. And this is the same one as Fauna and Julius's. And the other one I'd put maybe is Yami. Actually, yeah, you could put Yami's too. Yami's is basically the same thing. And then Lich's. Those are the only ones I would put on. I wouldn't put any other ones, really. Maybe you could put Fuegos on. I think it's Fuegos. It's either Fuegos or Leopold's. I'm pretty sure it's... Is it Fuegos? When held... Yeah, so you could... Maybe put this one if you want. Now, you want to have the ultimate level 5, right? That's just like a given. You really do need it because you want to do as much damage as you can. The rest is basically fine. I have him 2 duped, right? So that's basically it for the Raya. Now, afterwards, let me try to find them. I brought Fenrir. There's not really much to him. You could give him speed. You want to make him have this because you want to be able to get the stamina increase on the skill 2. So you want to make sure that Fenrir does get this because if not, you're probably not going to be able to... actually able to do it, right? So after that, we also brought Charlotte, if I could find Charlotte. So Charlotte, I decided to put her skill page because this one increases the defense reduction level to level 3, which is a lot higher. If you don't have Charlotte's, you can maybe use Rills, but I really think you need her skill page. Like, you need Charlotte and her skill page, I think, to make this work because of the fact that she gives level 5 incapacity, which is 70% damage increase, plus the 60% here, and then the mark gives another 20% defense increase. So it's kind of crazy, right? And then she also has the crit resistance debuff because of the skill page, so the skill page is kind of cracked. I basically have nothing on her. Doesn't really matter because she has high speed either way, right? I don't have anything there, right? So that's fine. And then Gift Soap, if you put on Sally's, it's the best skill page. All level 1. I could have probably... What does this even do? I could have probably increased it. I think it's the... Yeah, I could have for sure increased it. Which is probably why it took more time. Compatible... Wait, which one does this increase? 25%, 30%. Okay. So it definitely helped me a bit. But it didn't really change the fact of like what I needed to win was just like the crits. So that's the whole team, right? Now let's go into like how exactly I positioned it, and we're gonna go into the run that won, right? That's basically what we're gonna do. So how this worked is that I put Charlotte with Raya, and then Finral with Gifso. Now, this is the auto settings that I had. You could take a second and pause. But basically, how it worked is that we use the skill 2 first, and we ult. And Charlotte's going to get the defense, then she's going to combo. And why you put her with Raya is so you can get the extra chip damage at the beginning. Usually, it'll do about 100k. Now, with Finral, you're going to use the ultimate, and then you're going to skill 2, because the skill 2 gets more stuff if you have the crit rate buff. You want to basically get every buff you can, and this is going to give a 40% damage buff if you get lucky. If not, it's 25%. Then this could be all attack, right? So what I mean by that, let's go into the run now. So that's basically how it looked. Look, we had a full hour of this, right? It was quite bad. Now, this has to be really run. Okay, so, all right, let's go over it. So how this worked is, oh, right, hold on. All right, this is the run, I guess? No. Has to be this one, I guess? Yeah, okay. So, how this worked, unless this really isn't the run, but yeah, it is. All right, so, what you want to do, basically, you want to obviously use Finrosol first. Now, you cannot get speed buffs, okay? Now, this is fine. You just want to make sure you get the crit rate buff on Raya, because every single buff on him gives him extra damage by 15% on the ult. Then afterwards, for this, right, you want to make sure you get all 3 buffs, or at least 2 of the main ones. You want to get that little whale. Like, let me replay it. You want to make sure you get that whale. So we'll wait. So, not that one. So you want to get crit rate. Then you want to get 2 or 3 buffs, but it's mainly you want to look for that whale one, because that gives it an extra 15% damage, and that has only a percentage of actually getting it. But you want to make sure you get that one, and then you're obviously going to get this one automatically. So that's 40% if you have the skill 2 at level 1. And then afterwards, Charlotte, right, she's going to do that. And if you're lucky with the skill page, you're also going to get the crit resistance reduction, right? He's going to have the double defense because Charlotte's just like that. And then he's going to do his skill 2, right? That doesn't really matter. Then he's going to skill 2. Now, Finral does need to give the stamina increase unless you have speed up on Raya as the gear set, but I don't think you should be running it. And obviously, because of the crit rate buff, he also gives Raya the attack buff. So from this point, it's just smooth sailing. But there is, and obviously he gives the attack buff, the all attack buff, sorry. Then Charlotte's going to put the level 5 incapacitate. Then he's going to do that, right? It does about 80, 90k, right? Now this is basically like the thing that matters, right? You want to be able to get both crits, because obviously if he has more than 2 buffs, but here we have like at least 10, I don't know, you're going to be getting an additional attack worth 70%, which you need to obviously have. And you want to basically get crits on both of them, but at least get it on the first one. Just that hit did 1.3 million. And then, yes, so the second one doesn't need to be a crit, but it would basically instant kill this Heath if they were both crits, right? Because look how low he is without the crit on the second one, when we have like 100% crit damage on that hit. So from this point, it's just like doing as much as you can chip damage at the end. And then you win, right? Raya's going to be able to do a pretty decent amount here, which is great. Yep. And then, you know, Charlotte gets the kill, which is kind of funny. I like that Charlotte out of everyone gets the kill. And yeah. Now, I cannot offer you guys replacements for these units because Charlotte doesn't really have anyone else that does level 5 incapacitate. Finral, no one does it like him really for the crit rate buff and also everything else he gives. Same for Gifso, right? So it kind of sucks, but you need this team to beat it in my way at least. Now, you could replace Raya with Jack, but I don't think many of you guys have Jack built. That's basically how you do it. I mean, you want to make sure, again, to get the crit rate buff with him. And then you want to get both of the increased damage buffs with Gifso. And then the main thing is just Raya getting both crits on his ultimate. Making sure you have him built enough, right? Because obviously this is late game. Now, if you want to make your life easier, you could always put attack food. Now, there is one that is 7% extra ult damage. Okay. Where is it? So, there's this one. Wait. Where is it? 7% ult, 10 and then 7, right? So this is going to be more than enough to kill instantly, even if you only get 1 crit on the first hit. Now, there's something else I do want to mention. If you do not get, so Finral, you want to make sure you have his skill page. Like, you need his skill page for this to work because of the fact that he gives a stamina increase when you, wait, what is it? Let me read it to you. Just going to translate. So 60% chance to increase 15% stamina if just 60% chance to increase the stamina. Now you want to make sure this goes on Raya, because if it does not go on Raya, he's going to attack after Heath's turn, and then Heath's going to lose all the debuffs that you applied. So you want to make sure that you do get that stamina increase on Raya. That's basically the only other thing I have to say, but except for that, that's basically how it goes. Good luck. I hope you guys are able to beat it, and I hope this helps at least like 5 of you. If 5 of you are able to like comment and say you beat it at some point after this, that's great. Now, it does take a lot of luck. It took me about an hour 30 to beat it, but you know, I was watching Code Geass during it with the boys, so it's fine. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.